Thanks for joining me. I'm Angela, and I will be your host for stimulating conversation and content. This live should be very interesting. We're going to talk about being attracted to a man that is friends with someone you're dating, maybe even married to, someone you've liked, someone you've had a fling with or messed around with. We're going to talk about the attraction to his friend, why you are attracted to his friend. Are you attracted to his friend? Why are you attracted to him? What is it about him that is so special? As I said, this is a deep dive into various scenarios pertaining to being attracted to a man's friend. Whether you are currently dating him, married to him, you've dated him before, or he was a fling or a part-time fling, or whichever, really doesn't matter. We're going to chop up, why would a woman be attracted to his friend? Hello, Skylar. How are you, dear? You're so faithful. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much. Happy Friday, everybody. Please be safe this weekend. Mind the children. If you see something, say something. Be a part of the solution and not the problem. Amen. Thank you. This is Frisky Friday. Come on, join the queen. Let's chop it up. Why would a woman be? Thank you so much, Skylar. Thank you. I thought I'd give you all something more festive to look at instead of the vase with the lighted stems. Thank you so very kindly. Let's chop it up, everybody. Have you, as a female, ever been attracted to your boyfriend or guy friend, part-time lover, however you want to dissect it? Have you ever been attracted to the friend? Did you look at the friend and say, wow, he's handsome, he's nice looking, he's nice, he's well dressed, he's well mannerable, he's sexy. Oh, I've heard things about him sexually, because that happens too. You hear little things about the other guy that he's got a lot going on downtown. And maybe you want to find out, but is that right? Is it right to be attracted to the friend? Should you make a pass at the friend? Let's say you're not dating the person anymore. You're not married to the person anymore. You're not having a fling or a hookup with that guy anymore. Is it right to pursue his friend? Now, oops, what if his friend has somebody? Ooh, now that is really frisky. Shut up, Queen. Maybe he has a significant other, wife, girlfriend, side piece, several pieces. I don't know. We're just going to throw it all out there because it is Frisky Friday. Should you make an attempt to talk to the guy, knowing he has somebody else and also friends with somebody you've been with? Shut up. Give it to me. You know I'm going to put a poll up later after this live to ask you your opinion. I possibly should do it now while I'm talking to you. What about that? What is it about him? Is it his face, his eyes, his hair, his nose? What is it? The way he carries himself? Or is it just physical? He's a nice looking guy. You don't really know him, but he's nice looking. Let's just say you don't know him. Let's go there. Let's go for the ones that you don't really know much about them, but you know they're friends. So possibly it's just physical attraction. He's a nice looking guy. Kind of curious. Or are you curious or you just... what's the word I'm looking for? Just kind of like a little small crush. I don't know. Should she tell him, hey, I find you awfully attractive? And then God forbids that opens up Pandora's box and he says, why, thank you. I think you're nice looking too. And then they start to engage in conversation and somebody decides to say, so what's up? What happens then, everybody? Should each party partake in slumbering with one another, knowing it could get back to the friend, the guy? Now, one would say The only way we get back is if the guy tells, because usually us ladies, we're not going to go out and tell everybody that we slept with a friend. Maybe the guy would go back and say, yeah, hey man, I just want to let you know I smashed that girl you used to like, you used to date, your ex-girlfriend, which is so. Now, would that be appropriate behavior? I guess it depends on the guy, because you still have grown men who behave like children and are childish, and they would go back and tell the guy friend, possibly out of spite, which would lead me to believe they're really not good friends. Because would you really want to hurt your guy friend to tell him that you slept with his ex or slept with some lady that he's messed around with and the lady liked him? That would kind of hurt, don't you think? That would hurt his feelings. But maybe deep down inside, this guy and this guy number one, they're not really friends. That's my Christmas present to myself. That was one of the kind gifts from you fans. That's what I bought myself Christmas. Thank you so much for that. Thank you, Kate. But let's chop it up. Okay, Skylar says, no, I don't think the lady should be attracted to the friend, because if the man talks to one of her friends, she'll be mad and be ready to fight. Yes, so true. So is there a double standard? Because we have realized over the years, centuries, that men have had a taste for the cookie. And they didn't care who the cookie belonged to. They did not care. A real friend wouldn't talk to their friend's girlfriend or friend's ex. Okay. So men have been wanting the cookie, desiring the cookie, lusting for the cookie. Didn't matter who the cookie belonged to for centuries. So it didn't matter if it was their brother's girlfriend, wife, their friend's girlfriend, wife, co-worker's girlfriend, wife. Some men just have to have the woman. Doesn't matter who she is. And one would say you're very uncouth to go after someone close to you, their mate or ex-mate. Fling, hookup. So let's chop up the difference. Is it wrong only if it's a fling? If it's serious. Let's say they're in a relationship or he's been in a relationship with the woman. Should the friend say that's off limits because he cared for her, she cared for him? I know this would hurt him if he knew I was interested in her or chased her or she said something to me. Is it only wrong if the two had feelings for one another and actually dated and were in a relationship? Okay, Skylar, you're on today. Okay. So let's scenario number one. Let's go with scenario number two. Let's say the guy and lady may have liked each other. They hooked up at one time or more than once, or they messed around. How do you feel about that scenario? It was nothing serious between the woman and the man. The woman may have liked him, may have cared for him. He may have cared for her, maybe not. She was just something to do. But she realized, wow, his friend is really nice looking. He and I really haven't had anything special. He didn't care for me in that way. So I want to talk to his friend. How do you feel about that? The two never had a serious relationship. So his friend or that lady decided to talk to the other one. How do you feel about that? I'm kind of opening up the box two ways. Thank you for joining me. If you'd like to donate to this great network, $Beganji, 129 Cash Out. All stickers are welcome during this live. Thank you all so much for following the content. Like, share, subscribe. 16 viewing, 7 thumbs up. Amen. I decided to do something hypothetical today because it's Friday and I didn't want to do anything too serious on a great day before the weekend. So I decided to throw this out there to ask any of you, have you ever been in this predicament? Have you ever dated a guy, but you were attracted to his friend? Or down the road, maybe you two weren't together anymore, or you had a fling with a guy and you know of someone that he's friends with and you have seen this person before many times or periodically, however it goes, and you thought to yourself, wow, he's nice looking, he's handsome. Should I or should I not? Skylar says it's wrong because a woman would be upset if it's done to her. And you are so correct. But as you say, it depends on your moral compass. Your moral compass. Now imagine it gets back to the guy. Let's go there. He finds out that his friend is slumbering with his ex. or some girl he dated, like woman, whichever, however you want to word it, and he actually gets an attitude. He's perturbed. How do you feel about that? He's angry that he found out they've slept together. What about that? What do you have to say about that, Skylar? Because you have a lot to say down there in that chat. Thank you all for joining me. 18 viewing. Oh, wait. Skylar's probably typing right now. They might try to hurt both of them. Skylar, you're killing me. This is true. Skylar has really been talking. The guy might try to hurt both of them. Well, let's talk about that. The guy might try to hurt both of them. Well, let's just say he never really cared for the woman, whether he dated her or not, whether it was a fling or not. He really didn't care for her. He didn't treat her well. Let's go there. Should it be no big deal if he didn't treat the woman well? He was disrespectful to her. He didn't treat her as a lady. He was nasty to her. He wasn't a good boyfriend or a good lover. Or, as I said, they really didn't have anything going on between them. So why would he get jealous? Why would someone get jealous over a woman that he really didn't care anything about? Well, let's just say he didn't. He didn't show her that he cared. How about that? So why, if he found out later his friend had slept with her, why would it be a big deal? And most guys probably would never own this anyway, because they don't want anyone to know that they, one, have feelings. So I'm not getting ready to let people know I'm upset that my homeboy slept with this woman who I didn't treat well. It wasn't anything serious with her. Hey, good luck. And you do have some men that are like that. They didn't care anything for the woman. So if they found out that the two slumbered, if either party told it or they heard it in the street, they just shuck it off and say, well, she wasn't nothing to me anyway. Hey, he's still my boy. Men are men. We're beasts, savages. Do you agree or disagree? Thank you for joining me. Now, I can see the guy hurting his friend or her if indeed he dated the woman. He had a serious relationship with the woman. He was engaged to her, married to her. He cared for her. And he knew that the woman knew that he loved her at one time. Maybe things didn't work out. And or his friend knew this. Hey, you knew I loved her. You know I still love her. Maybe he still loves her, but they're not together. I could see in that instance a man wanting to harm either party or both, because they both know his affections, feelings for the said woman. But as I said, imagine he didn't care for her at all. She was just something to do. Would he then still pop off on both of them? But the gist of the story would be, why would he if he never cared for the woman? What would be the reason to pop off when you didn't have feelings for her? And then one is going to question the friendship, of course, between the two men. Why would you betray your friend by sleeping with his girlfriend? Let's just say that. Girlfriend or wife. We're going to be technical. Maybe he'd sleep with a woman that he knew was just a fling, because he would feel like, well, she wasn't anything serious. He didn't talk about her serious, or he told me he didn't really care for her or like her in that way. So it ain't no big deal me trying to get the cookie on a female he didn't have any feelings for. Agree or disagree? Thank you so much for joining me. But I'm asking this question because I can. Is it right for a woman to be attracted to a man's friend? Why is she thinking about him? Why is he on her mind? Should she cross the line and put her bid in? But as I said, imagine if he already has someone. He's with someone. He's married to someone, or he's dating someone. Most would say that's wrong. She knows better. Why do you want to talk to his friend? And why do you want to talk to him knowing he has someone, even if he wasn't a friend of a guy that you've dated or liked? Some kids might be watching. You don't need to be on this YouTube. Thank you. Oh, Morgan, you need to find something to do, dear. This is not a child's channel, so therefore they don't have any business watching. They should be in the schoolhouse learning. How about that? Obviously, that's where you need to be, in somebody's schoolhouse. Morgan ain't talking about nothing, honey. Another board troll. Because last I checked, it's school hours, so I don't know what child would be watching YouTube, period, if it was the Disney Channel. You know, I don't worry about people like that. She's irrelevant. Probably a man in drag. How about that? Did you hear what I said, Skylar? Probably a man in drag. You know the queen don't care, baby. It's this. I run this. Stay in your lane, baby. It's safer that way. Stay in your lane, baby. Don't get your pantyhose all tied up in a knot. You should be somewhere at a desk job, shuffling paper and shuffling a computer screen. That's what I would be thinking at 2:46 p.m. in the afternoon, depending if you're on standard Central Mountain Time. And if it's Central Time, you're a couple of hours behind. You should definitely be at your job. But this is not a children's channel. Well, Taurus, I have to be, how the queen is. I always tell myself not to say anything to these crazy people, but it's Frisky Friday, so I think I will. Why not? You want attention, so I'm going to give it to you. Isn't that the purpose of commenting? Because you want it to be recognized? Come on now. Come on, you guys. Stay woke now. Now, back to the logistics. Let's say these two decide to have a little hanky-panky. Friend and the young lady. Will one of them reveal the truth that they have hooked up? Will he go back and tell that he slept with the young lady, the woman? Or what if she decides she wants to be spiteful and tell him, yeah, I had your friend. He's really nice. Now, that wouldn't be ladylike. But there are some women who would kiss and tell to the other guy. Maybe she did it out of spite. Let's talk about that. She's attracted to him out of spite. Her mind has wandered. I don't really give a damn about this person. They never gave a damn about me. So why should I care about his feelings? Why should I care about his feelings? He never cared about me. And his friend is nice looking. So why not put my bid in and see where it goes? But as I said, it's treacherous territory for that reason. And two, perhaps the guy has a significant other. But what if all in all, she's only attracted to him because she wants revenge? She wants revenge. She wants revenge. Some women do it to try to get back at their boyfriend, and some women do it just to go it. Yes, that's the whole point, Skylar. It could be a multitude of reasons why. Thanks for joining me, sweetheart. Could it be that? That's one reason a woman would try to talk to a man. The friend, let's call him the friend. She would try to talk to the friend because she's angry at how this guy's treated her. He's been dirty to her, nasty to her, didn't care about her. So she said, oh, the hell with it. Why not put my bid in? And like I said, what if the guy takes the bait and he starts talking to her? Woo! And God forbid, shut up, queen, they start liking each other. Ding dong, the witch is dead. Did you hear that? They actually start to like each other. My. Imagine that. Imagine they start to like each other. And Lord have mercy if he has a girlfriend or a wife. We're not going to leave that part out now. It is Frisky Friday. Interesting. Very interesting. Somebody's going to get hurt. I think we all know this. Especially if the guy has someone. And we didn't throw in, perhaps the young lady has someone. Oops. Now, Angela, how did you leave that part out? Sorry. Let's say she has a friend, boyfriend, lover, hookup, side piece, husband, and she's liking her ex's friend, but she has somebody. Ooh, I got you, didn't I? The plot thickens. So let's say both parties have somebody, and they decide to get entangled with one another, and each has someone. What? Maybe if their boyfriend cheated on them or been doing her wrong, maybe she's a low down. What you say, Skylar? Skylar, you're killing me right now. I don't know why on this device I cannot pull up what you're saying. She is not acting right. Well, that would be a doozy, because now we have two people who both have somebody. And top third, if he has a lady, like, okay, yes, interesting, very true. But this would thicken the plot if both have somebody, and then these two decide that they actually are attracted to each other and like each other and want to continue seeing one another on the sly, of course, having sexual relations, sneaking around. How is that going to work? And then you have to factor in the guy who they're all connected to. Oh, Lord, Strawberry said, then you got a cluster. You all are so bad. I think I'm bringing the bad out of you guys. Now, you all behave down in that chat. No, but seriously, two individuals connected by one guy. The guy that the girl is no longer with, and then the friend, this new friend, old friend, that she's sexually attracted to or physically attracted to, which is however. But they both have somebody. So how would that work out? Somebody's going to get hurt. Possibly it's going to be a whole lot of somebody. Yeah, like the stuff we see in the movies. But unfortunately, a lot of things that we see in the movies are actually real. You know, when people write those scripts, they're pulling that from somewhere. All of it isn't hypothetical. Scary movies, fiction. You know, because we know once you stab a person, kill a person, they're dead. They don't come back, keep coming back. But in the realm of lying, deceit, fraud, cheating, defaming people, that does happen. That goes on every day. That's real. People do these things. And I believe a lot of people pull that to make the script for TV. They've heard it somewhere. They've seen it somewhere. They've experienced it, maybe in their own life. So I'm going to ask you ladies in the chat, if you're willing to be honest with the queen. Have you ever been attracted to one of your guy, boyfriend, husband, lovers, friend? I'll wait. I'm going to pull my computer out, and I'm going to go make a poll right quick while you all shuffle in your commentary. Thank you for joining me. This is Everyday Shenanigans. All right, everybody. Oh, thank you, Lota, for being honest. She said yes. Thank you. Thank you so much thank you for your honesty. Did you act on it? Did you ever act on it? Did you ever go out on a date with the young man and or sleep with him? If you can answer. Thank you so much. Yes, and I turned out to be what? What, girl? What are you saying down there? Okay, Luther said no, she didn't act on it. Strawberry, what are you talking about? It became a what? A mess? You became a mess. What are you saying, sweetie? I'm trying to understand what you're saying, baby. If both are cheating on each other, like you said, it can be a whole lot of somebody's getting hurt. Both of them could be talking to somebody that had somebody, and that somebody could be talked to somebody too. Situation was a mess. Well, I wish you could elaborate. Call the queen on IG. Let me hear what you have to say, baby. I'm going to make a poll, you guys. So you can feel free to mosey on over there and take the poll if you like. I like doing these polls so far. I'd like to see how you all think. Feel free to take any poll that's on my community page. I'd like to get your opinion, yes or no, and just check off the box. Thank you so much. One second, you guys. Okay. All right. 17 viewing. I have the poll put up. Feel free to go over to the community page and answer the question, yes or no. Let's see what happens by the end of the day. Once my friends get off from work and they sit and digest the said information, I will leave the comment box open. Scholars had a lot to say in the chat pertaining to this subject matter. This is just a hypothetical question. Then maybe it's not hypothetical. Who knows? Can't kiss and tell. But anyway, the point is, many people have dated, hooked up with their friends, exes, girlfriends, side pieces, whatever you want to call them, hookups, or however you like to word it. They had full knowledge, knowing that the guy, their friend, messed around with the woman. Let's just say messed around, whatever the capacity was. And he decided to make a pass at her while they were dating, messing around, and or after he heard that they were no longer together, dating, which is so ever. And many will say that this is a very crass, this is crass behavior. It's disrespectful. Because if you care for your friend, you would not betray him in this manner. And one would say the same for the female. Even if it was not a relationship, even if it was just a hookup or a fling, or they hooked up occasionally, or however it went, she should not want to date his friend, as to not be deemed a whore, because that is the label that many will call her. The guy will probably call her that. And even the guy that she has sex with, he could be just as nasty and go back and talk about her like a dog and tell it to the street and to the friend. Hey, she ain't nothing. I didn't hit that, blah, blah, blah. You do have men who behave this way. They tell on women, and she may not have never slept with one of their friends or homeboys, but he just wants to put her business out there. But as my daddy used to say, you never let a man talk about you, because he was in the room too. But you have some very sick, ill, tainted-minded men. Okay, I see what you're saying. After your marriage. Okay, I got you. Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you for being honest. Thank you. So you do have to be careful of the people that you take up with and that you sleep with. And that's probably the lesson learned with this hypothetical title. Is that once you cross the line, you can't go back. Now it's a matter of who's going to be the one to hold the secret. Because as I said, a lot of men like to kiss and tell. Men who are immature and childish. And this is the behavior of boys, teenagers, young men. They like to tell what they've done with a woman, what she did to him. And we all know it would be cruel to go out here and tell your friend that you've had sex with his girlfriend and or his ex or somebody that he's slept with. Why would you want to do that? Even for the woman, why would you want to do that? Why would you want to tell him, yeah, I had him, I've been with him, and what? Ooh, it was good, better than you. So one would think you only did it to spite him. Sometimes it's best to keep your mouth closed, especially when you know you're doing wrong. You know you're doing something that is deemed wrong. Why add fuel to the fire? And I thank you, ladies, for being honest in the chat to share briefly that you've been in a position of being attracted to a man's friend and or crossing the line, and that you suffered repercussions from that said decision. And that's the thing about crossing the line, is that there will possibly be repercussions. You may later feel guilty. You may feel guilty right after the act of having sex with the person, or it could be just a dinner date or going to the movies or sitting in the park or inviting the person over to your home. You may say, oh, I should have never done this. I feel guilty. Some men could do that to get back at their friend, just say if they fell out of something. Yes, and that's the point I'm making. I'm touching on every avenue of why a woman would want to be attracted to the man. And, you know, let's keep it real. You can't help who you're attracted to, because you always have heard people say you can't help who you love. Well, sometimes that may be true and sometimes it's not. I don't think we can say that's true when you realize you've been attracted to what I would consider a demon, a person that is a narcissist, a person that doesn't really care for you. They don't treat you well. You knew they weren't well when you met them. You can say all day, well, I love them, but you knew something was wrong with him, but you proceeded anyway. So how could that be true about you can't help who you love? You knew he wasn't no good, but you went on and kept on till you got devastated by being mistreated. But you loved him, so you said. But was it really love? You have to ask yourself that. Hello, Platinum Black. Hi, baby. How you doing? Thanks for joining me. Everybody say hello to Mr. DeVille. This is one of my friends, male friends, who I have not slept with. Let me make that clear. Because some of y'all know y'all like to jump the gun. But that's the question I posed. Maybe the next time we'll do the girlfriend. Should you date your girlfriend's boyfriend or ex? That should be a very interesting one. I might do that one tomorrow. Thank you, Mr. DeVille. Thank you for joining me. Thank you so much. But yes, I posed this question because it was something that was on my mind. And I was thinking about it. And I know how men are. I'm 51, so I've lived. And I know that men talk, they kiss and tell, they like to tell things. Women will tell a girlfriend 9 times out of 10 and say, girl, you won't believe what I did. Yeah, girl, I went on and said something to him. Or it could be, let's go here, let's take the latter. He said something to her. He went on the slide, he went in the DM, he saw her somewhere else. She was looking fabulous. And he was looking at her like, damn, you look good. Man, if you hadn't been with my homeboy, and then pause. Everybody's quiet, silence. And then somebody said something, either he or she. And maybe she decides to say, well, that's over with. We're not together. What's up? And he might be taken aback like, well, damn. She making a pass at me knowing she done slept with my homeboy. Mm-hmm. She did. Now what you gonna do, Tito? You just gonna stand there with your mouth open, letting in flies? Or you gonna reciprocate or kindly turn her down and say, baby, you're pretty, but I can't do that because that's my boy. And I wouldn't want to hurt his feelings if he ever found out that you and I been together. Now that would be a noble friend. But then you've got that one rotten friend, him don't care. Because I have a friend like that. I'm going to talk about him briefly because I've shared many of stories about him on this network. Nobody knows who he is. Nobody knows his government name. And naturally, I would never give his name out because there would be no need to, but because that would be disrespectful. But nonetheless, he's just a male whore. And I've known this for some time. He has this insatiable attraction to women. He has this insatiable attraction to have sex with women. He loves to have sex with more than one woman at the same time. I've shared that with you all before. And I never could understand, what is it about you and having to have sex with anybody? She's got to be pretty. She's got to have a nice shape. She's got to have a big rear. I mean, it goes on and on and on. But he's the prime example of what I'm saying. He doesn't care, because I know in the past he's relayed to me that he slept with one of his friends' girlfriends, and I was stunned because I was like, what did you say? You did what? You slept with a girl? And I said, why would you do that? Oh, she ain't nothing but a whore. See, that right there. Now, she doesn't know that I know that they slept together, but I think her feelings would be hurt if she knew that he went behind her back and told that he had slept with her and then call her a whore. Why does she have to be a whore? See, that behavior right there is what I'm talking about, the repercussions of having the sex. And then it could be, he'll talk about you like a dog if you didn't have sex with him. Just the fact that you held a conversation. You texted each other, talked on the phone. He can go back and tell that. Well, she interested. She talking to me on the phone. What you talking to me for? Why would you tell it? But you have men who are immature. They will tell it. But with this friend, he admitted that to me, that he slept with one of his friends' women. And I was stunned. And the first thing I thought was, this is the craziest thing I have ever heard in my damn life. You knew they dated each other, and yet you're going to admit to me that you slept with her. Now, naturally, she's never told me that she slept with, this person. Because I think his name came up once in a conversation. If I'm not mistaken, I believe she may have denied having anything to do with him. I'm not really sure. It's been some years ago. But I know he's told me. And one thing I know about him, he ain't going to lie on the cookie. That's one thing he's not going to do. Yes, true. They'll put it on the internet. Very true. And we've seen the craziness that goes on with the internet. People vent, they get angry, they get mad at the guy, the girl, the wife, the husband. As I brought you all content with someone that I know, she decided to put her husband's business out on the internet and tell, that he's been cheating on her and lying to the public about their relationship. He lied and said they weren't together when they had been together at the time. But he ended up going into rehab, but they still were a couple, still legally married. You see, the internet isn't the place for that. You don't put people's pictures on the internet, sexual pictures, videos. You don't talk about what you did with them sexually, what they did to you sexually. That's inappropriate. And I wouldn't even fool with anybody that felt like that was the appropriate place to do that. Because it's one thing to talk about it in the street. Yeah, I did it with her. She did this to me. That's still disrespectful. And even the same guy that I'm talking about once said, I'm not getting ready to go tell no dude I slept with her, because why would I want him to get it if I know it's good? Well, that's a great point. But you're also the same guy that slept with your friend's girl. You understand what I'm saying? So one could say, well, how's you got morals in this department, but you don't have morals in this department? How's it different? You'll sleep with your friend's girl, a girl that he dated, but you won't go kiss and tell that the cookie was good. Yes, they do, Scott. Yes. And that is one thing that's always been said about a woman too. If a woman performs fellatio on a man, she's a whore. So most women and most men will say, well, there's a lot of whores running around then, if that's the case. And it's not to be descriptive in this live, but that is the one thing men love to say nasty about a female. Oh, she went down on me. So it's like, well, why are you telling that? Craziness. That's why you have to be careful who you slumber with, because you don't know, even at my age of 51, if the guy will kiss and tell. I don't care if you're dating him he's 50. He could be younger. He could be 40. Are you dating someone that will keep their mouth closed? Whether they're with a person or single. Because some men will tell people, and they've got a girlfriend or a wife, and they still will go out and tell people they slept with a chick recently. And it's like, why would you tell somebody that? Oh, we close, we cool. I heard a guy say that recently, a few months ago. Oh, I'm going to tell such and such that I was interested in this person. And I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute. You have a spouse, but you've been attracted to this woman, you say, for years, and then you're going to go tell a relative or somebody that you were interested in this person and that possibly you hooked up with them. Why would you do that? And you don't think that person wouldn't go back and tell your wife? You just assume, oh, well, their family, they ain't going to snitch me out. Yeah, they would, because they may not really like the person that you're interested in, and they might want to spite that person. But in the meanwhile, they're going to hurt you and your wife by telling that you had sex with this lady over here. See, people are dumb. Men are dumb. Some of them are very dumb. Because there's no way in the world I'm going to be a man and say I love my wife, then I go out here and hook up with a woman and then tell her to her face, I got to tell such and such I was with you. Huh? We cool. She ain't gonna tell nobody. What the F? Do you hear yourself? See, this lets you know you're dealing with a man-child. A man-child. That he's willing to share that he's attracted to a woman and has had sex with that woman to a friend or relative, but knows he is married or in a relationship with another woman. And you're going to bet that that person won't go back and repeat that you had sex with this woman. So you're willing to risk your relationship, marriage, because you couldn't hold a secret. Now, I want you all to think about that for a minute. That's when you know you're dealing with a complete child. And this is why I said you have to be very careful about who you lie down with, because in the end, when you meet people, you don't really know them. You could date them for weeks, months, but you're never going to know what they're about until something comes back repeated. And that's usually too late. Because I've heard all kind of whack stories and versions from all walks of life, men and women, who've told all kinds of things that the men did behind closed doors, what the woman did behind closed doors, what they were like in the relationship, who they hooked up with. And you would be mortified at the stories that that have reached these earlobes. And I could do up and shake my head. Like, why are you repeating this? Why are you repeating this to me? Do I need to know this? Why are you telling me this? You have to know when to be quiet, to keep something to the vest and say, this is not going to go over well if people found out. I best keep this to myself. So if you are married, you're in a relationship, and you are attracted to somebody else, whomever it is, probably best you don't even tread there, because somebody's going to get hurt in the long run. Because women, we are emotional creatures, and we tend to get emotional about people who we have had sex with. And it's just a known fact that somebody's going to catch feelings. And it could possibly be the man. It's not always just the woman is the one catching the feelings when she's having sex with somebody. A man is susceptible to also catch feelings. But when these people have other parties that they're dating, we already know it's wrong to step outside of the relationship and go be with somebody else physically or even mentally. Women consider mental conversations as cheating as well. Well, they like each other. They're talking on the phone. They're messaging one another. It's something. Why is he talking to her? Hello, Penn. Thank you for joining. Why are you talking to her? I'm your girlfriend. I'm your wife. Well, I haven't done anything with her. I haven't slept with her. I don't care. Why are you talking to her? And I understand that. Because as a woman, I do believe I possibly would be jealous if I had a significant other and they were on the phone talking to somebody windedly a lot. Why are you always talking to her or them? So one would get jealous. That's a natural emotion. Natural to think the worst. Especially if you know you're with someone who's known for philandering. Now, some will say, well, I trust him. I trust him to talk to whomever on the phone. I trust him to engage in conversation with other women. I know him. He wouldn't cheat on me. Some might say, well, you're a fool. You're foolish. But maybe she has that type of security within herself. And she has that security within her relationship to where she trusts her mate to conversate, fraternize with women, but knows he's not going to step out of boundary and have a sexual and or mental love affair with another woman or women. But you do need to keep your eyes open when you're dating someone or married to someone, because you should know that a lot of fraternizing is how most people end up in sexual entanglements with other parties, because you usually have to talk to end up in the bed or end up mentally entangled. Which is worse, mental entanglement or sexual entanglement? I think that'll be the next poll today. I'm almost approaching an hour. I don't want to hold you all too long, but that was my hypothetical question for Frisky Friday. I decided to go out on a limb to say this. We're all human, we're all flawed, we're all tainted, and we all make mistakes. And there have been many people who have made a lot of mistakes in their relationships, in their entanglements. But you have to learn from your mistakes, because you can't get better until you have remorse. And as I said, I have a friend who he never shows any remorse for sleeping with different women, sleeping outside of his relationship with the woman he's with. For some reason, he's just addicted to sex. And Dr. Phil once said that there was no such thing as being addicted to sex. I heard him say that once on his show. And I posed that question to people a while ago. And some people disagreed. I think a lot of people would disagree, because the first thing people said was, well, you could be addicted to anything, shopping, gambling, drugs, of course. But Dr. Phil said, no, man can't be addicted to sex. It's something else going on. So I don't know. I would have to do more research in that area. But I posed this question to you all this afternoon. Should a woman cross the line to put a bid in with the guy's friend, somebody she's dated, messed with, sexual entanglement, marriage, whatsoever? Should she put her bid in with the friend? What if she puts her bid in and he rebuffs her, talks down to her, curses her out, tells her, you know, you're low down, you're dirty, that's my friend, my homeboy, I would never betray him. Now she's embarrassed. Now what if he decides to go back and tell the friend, hey, that chick you like, dated, married, whatever, she's in my inbox, she called me, she said something to me at the Piggly Wiggly, whichsoever. I told her, hell no. Now he's going to feel some type of way because his homeboys come back to tell him girl said something to him. Now, will he go find her to say, hey, what are you doing inboxing him, trying to hook up with him? Or put a bid in. Why would you do that to me? Or as I said, if there was no relationship, maybe he won't care. Maybe he'll be like, hey man, get it. I don't care. I don't like her. We ain't have nothing going on. But what if he's lying? What if deep down inside, he did like her? But he's not going to let that man know that. And he's not going to let that lady know that. He's not going to let nobody know that, yeah, I did like her. I didn't follow through, try to pursue her like I should have. I didn't date her for whatever reason. Hell, I didn't even treat her well. I was disrespectful to her. So hell no, I ain't going to let the world know I was a dirty dog to her. And now here come my homeboy telling me she put a bid in and try to holler at him. He's got to save face. He's got to save face. But just imagine if that 1 week moment, he finds her and asks her, why would you try to talk to my friend? Possibly going off, cursing her out, calling her nasty names. What would she tell him? Would she tell him the truth? You don't have the right to confront me about anything because 1, it's none of your damn business. And 2, you never cared for me. You were never interested in me. So it ain't nothing. And it could never have been anything because you showed me I never meant anything to you. So it doesn't matter who I am attracted to, whomever I want to talk to. We didn't never have anything special. Water under the bridge. Then how would he feel? Can't really be mad, can you? When you knew you didn't have anything with her in the first place. So whether she slept with your good friend, somebody that you know of, somebody that you're cool with, is it really betrayal when you never cared for her? It's something for you all to think about. Now, many will say it's wrong for a woman to talk to a guy when she knew she had something special with the guy at one time. Married to him, engaged, long relationship, short relationship. Many will judge and say, it doesn't matter how long you two dated. You knew that guy as his friend, so it would not be right for you to make a pass at him because you should know that would hurt his feelings. And he would possibly be even more devastated that his friend would reciprocate. Lesser of two evils. I want to thank you all for joining me. God bless all of you. Have a safe weekend. Like, share, subscribe. Drop your comments below. Please take the poll on my community page pertaining to this subject matter and other polls. I will put up another poll for the next subject matter, which will be the female talking to her girlfriend's ex. Side piece. Hookup. Yes, loyalty should mean something. But that's another question. Are we really loyal to our friends? That may be another live I do as well. Because maybe deep down inside, we don't really care about the people that we say we care about. Maybe we really aren't good friends with the people that we say we are friends with. Maybe we are not. True story. A year or so ago, a young man was talking to me on the phone, and he ended up talking to me, telling me, that he didn't think it would be right to talk to me in that way because I dated somebody that he is still currently friends with. So I told that person, well, I'm not dating him now, and I'm not dating you now, and I didn't know that you were interested in me if you are or were. I just thought we were talking on the phone as friends. So he went on to say, I guess basically that he could be interested in me, but he didn't know if he could follow through because I dated somebody that's a good friend of his. So whatever I had with somebody many moons ago, I told him was nothing. But I respect you for being honest and being loyal to your friend. And like I told him, I don't know how my name came up in the conversation because I knew that I wasn't dating anybody at the time. But obviously my name came up from another person that said, oh, she used to date such and such. So then he realized, oh, okay. And he's friends with such and such. But like I told him, I don't talk to that person. We weren't talking. We weren't dating. It was nothing. It was something 25 years ago or so, however long. But his perception was, well, no matter what you two had, I just would feel funny being interested in you. I guess if it ever got out that I was interested in you, and then I know that you two have talked. So I get that. And I can respect him for at least being loyal. And naturally, it never went anywhere. It was just phone conversation. But that was his truth. Thank you all so much for joining me. Thank you, Mr. DeVille, for joining me in this live. God bless all of you. Please stay safe. Mind the children. If you see something, say something. No, there's no snitch rule pertaining to children and the safety and livelihood of a child. Be a part of the solution and not the problem. God bless all of you. Thank you, Skylar. Thank you, Penn. Thank you all who joined the chat. Thank you, Kay. I will be back with more stimulating conversation. But before you go, is it right or wrong for this lady to put in a bid with her ex's friend? Is it even wrong for her to even be attracted to him knowing they are friends? You're entitled to your perception. Thank you, Skylar. I will. God bless all of you. Thank you so much. This is Everyday Shenanigans. Thank you.